Warning: the video you are about to watch will be of questionable quality, and may result in you becoming envious of the deaf and blind. Ine Bambuja will take zero responsibility. Alright, we start off by spawning, and already I can tell that this will be a piece of cake. But with the lower difficulty and my genius, speaking of said genius, I crafted a wooden axe, which I used once. I know, big brain stuff. Anyways, using my useless fuel, I make some charcoal in order to escape into the sanctity of the underground, because the top ground, Yeah, top ground, is very laggy and will be avoided at all costs from here on out. That also means the quality of the clips will get better from here on out. I'm sorry I subjected you to the laggy clips from before. Descending further into the depths, I happen across some water. Water that led into a cave. A underwater cave, but a cave nonetheless. So taking what I can get, I start to explore into the cave. After crafting some doors, of course, I'm not stupid. Most of the time. With the power of the doors, I managed to get around pretty easily, and amass several... I can't speak. I managed to get more than enough resources for a little bit, and then before I do anything stupid, I decide to leave because, well, safety matters first, even if this isn't hardcore. With the cave no longer distracting me and the iron being smelted, I go back to mining, and some more mining, before mining into the second underwater cave that I have to explore, because I never learn from my mistakes. But this underwater cave happens to have an air pocket that I happen to investigate, and it's a bit small, but I see the potential. So I declare this my base, no matter how impractical and stupid it is. Then, in order to make it feel more homely, I make a farm, because I thought farms would work properly 100 blocks underground. I mean, it did produce some food, probably more than it should have in all honesty, but kind of a waste of time in general. With the farming done, I decided to go mining. After all, I thoroughly enjoyed my experience earlier, so why not replicate it? And deciding that this block was as good as any, I mine into it and immediately find a giant cavern. Which, I mean, there's worse things to immediately mine into. So, with facing the unknown in two directions, I go right and find absolutely nothing. Well, not nothing, just very little, which is still disappointing. So I go on my way back and find this weird blue shiny crystal thing. It's probably worthless, but hey, it's a consolation prize, I guess. With my efforts resulting in worse and worse outcomes, I decided to make something that can't go wrong and is always beneficial: a bed. Anyways, let's watch how I mess that up. I debated on whether or not I should play this in hardcore, because, hardcore is far more interesting than just regular Minecraft. But I think I just showed why I shouldn't play hardcore, because that's how it would end every single time. Not me fighting something or making a mistake or somehow winning, just me being oblivious and way too stubborn. Fortunately, I managed to get everything back. Well, except for my chestplate. It'll be missed and immediately replaced. Well, I say immediately. I mean immediately once I get more iron. After the whole ordeal, I carve out a room and place my bed, and now officially the base is a home. But there's no rest for the unknown. So as soon as I awake, I hit the ground running and go to the cavern I discovered earlier. Then this happens. Alright, okay, alright, okay. Yeah, I just thought you should see that. Anyways, after that little heart attack, I go the opposite way I did before, and hey, what do you know? There's a mine shaft. But I shouldn't go in there. Anyways, let's go in there. So as I charge in, I get the vague sense that I did something wrong. But everything is fine. After all, I have plenty of food, my pickaxe is in good shape, I haven't even gotten lost yet. I know all I have to do to get back to the entrance is go down And, well, wait a second. No, wait. I'll have to, no. I actually, wait, I remember I just have to go to the, okay, maybe if we go around here, no, okay. We might be able to circle back around. No, okay, alright. Well, I'm lost. But hey, I found more shiny crystals. Let's just block ourselves in, and there we go. Might as well smelt some stuff. Well, now that we have everything, time to make the 1,000-year dash. And somehow I managed to fumble my way out of the mine shaft. One day I shall return, but that day is not today, nor anytime soon. Let's get out of here. As I ascend back up into my home, I smelled some iron that I had got in the rather stressful dash back here. But hey, I now have enough iron to replace the chest plate that I had lost earlier, when I died. Oh, and also during my trip I got this weird yellow apple. I personally prefer the red ones, but an apple's an apple. So I go up into the water and get some food. I've been kind of eating entirely fish the entire time I've been surviving. Then we go back down, sleep, and back into the mine we go. And hey, I find yet another mine shaft. As we've demonstrated before, fortune favors the bold, so hey, in we go. The mine shaft holds many treasures, like a block of raw iron, and also another yellow apple. I don't know where I got this one in all honesty. I just know I had it in my inventory when I found some shiny crystals. Speaking of finding shiny crystals, when I found the shiny crystals, the mobs had found me, and quickly cornered me when next to the shiny crystals. But with some quick thinking, I get out of there, kill them, then block myself in next to the shiny crystals. Then, out of food and low on hearts, I eat one of the yellow apples. Maybe not completely necessary, but I panicked. What can I say? Then, as I get out, I actually managed to find yet another shiny crystal during my running away. In order to escape the mine, I climb, I mine, I maneuver, but I really just can't find my way out of the mine until I find this scary skite. Sensing my impending doom and not wanting to rage quit, I start towering upwards, like a coward, but I do eventually find freedom in the sea. I immediately go back home to regroup, and at home, using the iron I got from mining, I make myself a full set of iron armor. Finally. And also, with the excess of diamonds I now have, I created diamond pickaxe. Don't know why I didn't before, but hey, at least I'm doing it now, with 11 of them. With diamond pickaxe in hand, I decided to set my sights higher, or lower in this case, and descend into the mine to find enough obsidian to create another portal. Also, for a brief moment, I switched from my shield to torches, and I immediately regretted my decision. So, yeah, I'm never using torches again. I managed to find a decent amount of lava. Of course, the process for getting obsidian out of the lava is a little time intensive, and I almost got burned once or twice, but overall I managed to get enough for another portal. More than enough, actually, since apparently I can't count. Of course, as soon as I start the trek towards home base, I immediately get surrounded by mobs, but choosing flight over a fight, I managed to run away. Bravely, of course, towards home, and as soon as I get to home, I start looking to see where I should build the portal, before deciding that it should have its own room, like my bed and the farm before it. The room I carved out for the nether portal isn't anything too special, although I did make the entrance an iron door, just in case. I was just about to enter the nether when I realized something. I had just enough obsidian to make an enchanting table. So I decided that the enchanting table was the priority. After all, it is an excellent way to to starkly improve my chances of survival. The only thing I'm really missing in order to create a enchanting table is a book. So I go to the surface and I immediately find some sugarcane. So far, so good. But now I need cows, and as much as I look, I can't find any, and it starts to get dark, so I have to go home and sleep. But then, as soon as I wake, I immediately go back to the search and still find nothing. Then I realize that cows aren't the only thing that dropped leather. By being able to craft the book, I can now craft the enchanting table. I even make it its own little sub-room in the portal room. But with that taken care of, I now have no more excuses. So finally, I have to enter the nether. You know, it's a lot hotter than I expected it to be. And I have to say, I would have appreciated it not spawning right next to a lava lake. But it could have been a lot worse, so I suppose we're just gonna have to take it. I start to tentatively explore the immediate area, which quickly turns into me making hasty bridges across the trees, and generally just climbing all over the place. Soon enough, I find myself my first opponent of the nether. He gets a good hit in, but he goes down quickly enough after that. Though as I trek onwards, a ghast starts shooting at me from far away. Even though I'm on soul sand, I actually manage to avoid most of them, except for one of the last ones, which I just kind of take right to the face. But, oh well, I carry on forward. But as I continue forward, the ghast is still trying to hit me, so after a little while I eventually hit back, in self-defense, of course. Although I'll eventually have to find specific things like nether fortresses and stuff like that, right now I'm just kind of exploring, getting my bearings, so to speak, which results in me building a bridge that I never complete at all. But then I go back to where I was before and build another bridge. This one I do complete. So with the bridge completed, I start to make my way through the soul sand. Very, very slowly. But eventually, I start to see things that aren't filled with soul sand and covered with skeletons trying to shoot me. So, with that seeming far more pleasant, I decide to make the biome without soul sand my current objective. Well, that is until I run into two ghasts and two pigmen who almost kill me, and then a dead end, of which I then decide that I should take a break from the nether, and so I start the long trek back. The trek back was going smoothly. Well, as smoothly as you could, with soul sand and skeletons, but whatever, it was going smoothly until I came upon this swarm of enemies. I dodged the first enemy that came at me before running straight through the rest of them. Although I did hear them, I didn't see them, which was a good sign, although I looked back once in a safe distance just to be sure. But then it was time to make it to my portal, and I did. I made it to the portal safe and sound, and then I just kind of went to sleep. Sure, I'll have to return to the nether to beat the game, but right now, I just need a minute.